Every night at exactly 9 o'clock, Willow starts crying at the closet door. Not meowing, crying. A sound so raw, so human that a neighbor once knocked to ask if everything was okay inside the apartment. She won't stop, not until someone pulls out the blanket, not until she is wrapped tight from chin to tail, like a newborn swaddled against the cold. She won't sleep any other way, not on the bed, not on the couch, not curled in a ball like any normal cat would. She has to be wrapped, and for months, nobody knew why. Claire tried everything to break the habit. Softer beds, warmer blankets left out in plain sight, a heating pad tucked under the couch cushion. Nothing worked. She even hid the one blanket Willow always chose, just to see what would happen. What happened next made her sit on the kitchen floor at midnight and cry harder than the cat did. Willow tore through the closet. She clawed at the laundry basket until her paws were raw. She knocked over a hamper, dragged a sweater across the floor, and tried desperately to wrap herself in anything soft enough to hold. She would not stop until she found something, anything to wrap herself inside. That night, Claire understood. This wasn't a preference, this was fear, wearing the shape of a habit. Willow hadn't always had a home. She came into Claire's life 2 winters ago, found behind a grocery store on the coldest night of the year when the temperature had dropped low enough to close half the schools in town the next morning. A stranger heard something faint under a stack of broken pallets. Not a meow, a whimper. She pulled back a piece of cardboard and found a kitten so small, so still, she thought she was already too late. The kitten's fur was frozen at the tips. Her tiny body wasn't shivering anymore, which is the most dangerous sign of all. The stranger didn't have a blanket. She didn't have a jacket to spare. She had one thing, a scarf wrapped twice around her own neck, and she used it. She wrapped that kitten so tightly her hands went numb, and she ran 3 blocks to an emergency vet with a stranger's scarf as the only thing standing between that tiny body and the cold. The vet said later if she had arrived even 10 minutes after, the story would have ended differently. That scarf saved her life. For 3 days, nobody was sure she would make it. She stayed under a heat lamp, wrapped again and again by hands that weren't her mother's, fed drop by drop from a syringe, too weak to even lift her head. The stranger visited twice. On the second visit, the kitten finally opened her eyes and looked at her. That was the last time they ever saw each other. Claire adopted her 2 weeks later. Willow settled in fast, playful, curious, chasing ribbons across the floor, flopping onto her back with total trust the moment she felt safe. But every night, without fail, the same ritual returned. 9 o'clock, the crying, the searching, the desperate need to be wrapped. At first, Claire thought it was simply a quirk, something Scottish folds were known for. She read forums, she asked her vet, nothing quite explained it. Other cat owners talked about odd sleeping spots, strange meows, small superstitions that made their pets feel almost human. None of it matched what she was watching every night. But she started noticing patterns. The crying got worse on cold nights. It got worse during storms when the wind rattled the windows and the temperature outside dropped hard and fast. And it always happened right around the hour she'd been found. She set up a camera just to watch, just to understand. What she saw stopped her breath. Willow didn't want the blanket, she needed it. She would press herself into the fabric, work her body until the pressure was even across her ribs, until the wrapping was as tight as her tiny frame could manage. She would push her nose into the corner of the fabric first, always the corner, then turn in slow circles until every inch of her was covered. The same sequence every single night, like a ritual she had memorized in a body too young to remember learning it. Then, and only then, her breathing would slow. Her whole body would soften. It looked less like comfort and more like relief. If this story is pulling at something in you right now, that's exactly why I keep telling these stories. Stay with me and hit subscribe because what happened next changed everything Claire understood about her cat. The vet had an answer Claire never expected. Cats who survive extreme cold as kittens, especially the ones close to death, sometimes carry the memory in their nervous system long after the danger is gone. It isn't a story they can tell you, it's a sensation their body never forgot, a kind of imprint left by the last moments before rescue. The vet called it a survival echo, something stored not in memory but in muscle, in skin, in the nerves just beneath the surface, something no amount of comfort could simply talk her out of. The tight pressure of being wrapped doesn't just feel nice to Willow, it tells her body at the deepest level that she is safe now, that someone came for her, that the cold isn't going to win this time. Claire sat with that for a long time. She thought about the stranger with the scarf, someone she never met, someone she couldn't even thank. That single act, wrapping a dying kitten in the middle of a freezing night, had planted something in Willow that no amount of time could erase. Not fear exactly, a memory of being saved, still living in her muscles, still asking to be repeated every single night at 9 o'clock. Claire realized she wasn't fighting a bad habit at all. She was witnessing gratitude, expressed the only way a small body knows how, over and over, without words. Now, Claire doesn't fight the ritual anymore. She keeps the blanket folded by the door before Willow even starts to cry. She wraps her gently, the same way a stranger once did on the worst night of her life, and she watches her go still, safe, warm, breathing slow. Some nights, Willow falls asleep within minutes. Other nights, she stays wrapped for an hour, wide awake, simply watching Claire move around the room, as if reassuring herself again and again that this home is real. It isn't a strange habit anymore. It's a survivor, still remembering the moment everything almost ended, and choosing, every night, to be held instead. If you share your life with a rescue animal, remember this: the habits that look strange, the ones that make no sense to you, are sometimes the quietest proof of what they survived before you ever met them. A cat who won't sleep without pressure against her side, a dog who checks every door twice before settling down, a rabbit who won't eat unless someone is sitting nearby. None of it is random. Loving them well doesn't mean fixing what feels unusual. Sometimes it just means wrapping the blanket a little tighter and letting them know every single night that the cold is never coming back. Do you think animals truly remember the moment they were saved, or is this just instinct with no memory behind it? Tell me what you think in the comments.